Thursday evening, some Wednesday, some Thursday. And actually, my first time I went about it differently. I thought I saw kind of what was happening pretty early on, but when I put in the change, it had no effect. So I started going about it in a different way. Can you hear me? What's going on? You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I got so far with it, and then I realized that the original thing was, in fact, what was the first hurdle. There were like a number of hurdles. So I redid it again, this time focusing more directly on some of the stuff I detected. So I got your program, and I did the usual bundle install and the RakeDB migrate, and I checked the status, made sure everything was okay. And I just did a rake about to see what version I was working with and things like that to get some information. And I ran Cucumber, right? And I put in some debug statements. And here's your first statement: given the following locations, and I'm on the VU rideshare homepage. So this is supposed to create your records, right? And when I looked at the page body, I could see that here we have, let's see, we have like index, we have the headers, right? Can you see the headers, destination, etc.?
Yeah.
And then we don't see any values in there. All right. So for instance, then I did a write all, and I saw that it was creating each record, but the contents of each of your records was nil. Do you see that?
Yeah.
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 I thought we fixed that.
I'm sorry? Yeah, talk loud because it's hard for me to hear you.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, are you displaying this on the screen?
Yes.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, it'll be nice and big.
Because I thought we figured out why it's happening.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think you don't have the latest version of the code.
Yeah, that might be. Can I just run through this quickly because there's some good debug steps here that might be good for you.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
And you can, in the meantime, you can send me the latest version of the code, and as soon as we go through this, we can, look at that. Okay. All right. So let's see. I just put some debug statements in, and of course it didn't get very far. And I checked the actual test database. Now this is something that might be handy for you to know. If you do a Rails DB console and then you give it the option -p test,
Yeah.
it will actually look in the test database, and you can do a select here. I selected all from rides. Yeah, okay. And you can see that it's all empty. And here, I suppose you found that you had attribute accessor here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Because attribute accessor, what it does is it creates local getters and setters that aren't connected to active record. I mean, basically, you're shadowing the inherited values. Yeah, and so that was causing a problem. And also your schema, you had lowercase letters someplace, uppercase letters other places. So I'm sure you found that. And it didn't match your ride steps, so I made it match. Okay. Now I noticed that the old records were still there. It was creating the new ones, and it wasn't clearing out the old ones. And I assumed originally that was because I couldn't. Let's see. your database cleaner was missing from your gem file, right? And so I added it, and I tried it again. It still didn't clean up. But then after, and I had done like a DB test prepare earlier, and there was still crap in the database. But this time, once I installed database cleaner, it worked. But one thing I want to note is that all the auto-generated lines in env.rb, okay, here's yours, and here's mine. None of them were installed, which indicates to me that, again, you know, Cucumber and some of the testing stuff wasn't installed properly, which is, you know, not good.
Wait, how'd you figure out that they weren't installed?
I'm sorry?
How'd you figure out that they weren't installed?
I'm hearing an echo. Well, let's talk about that momentarily. But when I ran it the next time and did some debug, it turned out that we were still on the index page. We weren't going anywhere. All right.
Okay.
Now I noticed a couple things. Your HTTP method on your form was post, and for search it should be get. And then I looked at your routes, and your routes were kind of horrendous. I'm mystified why they were done this way. Here you've got the root, and that's good. You had the get rides index, which, I mean, you don't need to do that at all. I don't know why it's up there. You had the matchers, but the matchers aren't right. And then you had resources rides. So this, I don't know why you'd have this, because this does that. Okay, resources rides. Yeah. And you needed the root. That was good. And this matches, you don't want to match rides index. Why would you match that? You want to match the route for the search page. All right. So this is like going right back to your index page instead of the search page. And also you have that registration page, and I thought, you know, we really need to focus on one thing at a time, so I wanted to just get that out of the way and not have to debug that too. So I commented that stuff out. And I tried this route, which is kind of a typical one. Here's the root, here's resources ride, and here's the extra one, the get ride search results that should map to rides search results. And I gave it a path name. And here's what the routes for that look like. Yeah. I also commented out your time and date stuff, because you're not handling that properly either. Okay. And it was still not going to the proper page, and I got a weird message about it not finding a show template. Now, did you read the documentation, the Rails documentation, about having an action that involves a collection as opposed to, you know, like calling it up on a specific resource?
No.
Oh, okay. So it turns out that because actually I had one more that I tried here and it didn't work, and that was where you set it up as a member, and that didn't work because it wanted to insert an index. And I found out that one of the things that happens is, especially on search, search is unusual because you're searching the whole collection. All right, so your search page isn't it's not going to
have an ID.
Yeah, exactly. And so you have to explain that, otherwise it tries to fit it to some other route. Okay, so here is my next try at that, and I changed the path helper, and I I also checked the paths file, and it looked like it was like in the middle of being edited.
Path?
The paths file that Cucumber uses, right? Because it had an
Oh,
orphaned,
yeah.
it had an orphaned win, and the else was missing. So I replaced the else, and I commented out the win. I was also getting a deprecation error, and I noticed that you didn't have rspec.rb in your feature support, so I added it, and that at least gets rid of the deprecation.
Can you go back to the last one you talked about? You just talked about the support file.
The
RSpec?
RSpec?
yeah.
So where'd you
Uh,
edit?
There, it's supposed to be added to features /support. I believe it was that was part of the instructions for your acceptance testing homework. It has that file in it.
Can I see the line that you added?
I think this is it. Yeah, this is
That's it.
Yeah, this is the whole file. It's a file, rspec.rb, and you put it in support. I can send you this when we're done. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Cucumber was failing because the step was undefined, but the step was defined. So I don't know. I mean, it just sailed past it and ignored it. I don't know why. By the way, make sure when you run Cucumber that when you check it, it should go to I am on the rideshare homepage. It should list the step definition, like web steps or ride steps, not your feature file. If it lists your feature file, then it's not really doing anything. So for instance, here we see ride search feature, and somehow it's not really going to the web steps, which is where it should go.
Okay.
Here it's going to web steps, so that was kind of weird. And then here it said that let's see, I should now be on the search results page, and it's saying it can't. Oh, okay. So I guess I neglected to put one of the posts here. The first one said that it was undefined. Then what I did is I went into it and I altered the wording slightly and put it in rides steps, and then it hit it. But it then, see here it's ride steps 9, but then it couldn't find a mapping to the path, right? So I went back to the paths file, and I initially tried, I initially put some debugging in to see what was happening because, hopefully it would just run through and create it automatically. But then I realized that if you looked at the rake routes and you looked at the path that it named, it wasn't it's not standard, all right? So the search results page maps to the search results rides path with the routes being corrected, and so you have to actually make that a custom path. So then I ran Cucumber again, and you can see here the controller is being entered, and all the correct results are being determined, and all the results appear to be correct. And then the page body is opening to the correct page, but in and it looks at first like it has the right values, but when you look at the individual instance variables, or you look at the like you open the page in Capybara and look at it, it's sort of missing things. Okay, so here we see the search results. I just threw an extra instance variable in the controller just to see was it getting in here, and it's appearing. All right,
Okay.
even though the debug shows it as nil. And then I see here that that at results has the result we want, but then the page isn't, the rest of the page isn't rendering. So I couldn't figure out what was going on there. Here we see the index page, and we see that when you do it live now, it doesn't have any results. And in fact, this is null, but which it shouldn't be, right? I did notice that your ride steps, because then when I combed through it, I saw that not all the ride steps were actually being run. And so I went through it and I found that you had steps here instead of step, right? Well, what I wasn't even sure if that was a problem, but I tried it, and sure enough, it then changed to actually running it. Then it had a problem with the negation because of the way the test is set up. It's really set up kind of funny. So what I did was I commented out the negative part, and basically now it goes to the end, and if I check debug, it doesn't seem to have values. If I check Capybara, it does have values, and if I check the live page, it doesn't have values. So
What do you mean, like, it doesn't have? You mean like it doesn't have any values in the database?
no. The database is fully populated. That's no longer a problem.
Okay.
All right, so that's all figured out, and some of the other stuff is figured out, but I'm still not showing that we're getting to the search page with all the results intact. The controller is sending them, right? But for some reason, it's not making it to the page.
Okay.
It's really weird. And I'm going to forward this workup to Sam because he's pretty good at. He'll probably look at it and think of some things that it might be. But one of the things that's consistent that I find disturbing is that. Okay, so here's your page. Okay, wait a minute. I have to move it. Here's your page live. All right, so if I do a search on these items, okay, and then I still get the instance variable, but I don't get the results, the set of results, and yet when I look in the controller, they're there and they're perfect. They're exactly what they should be. By the way, I did take out the time and the date thing because that was really messing things up.
Okay.
Yeah, time and date are not strings. You can use a variety of classes to represent them, and there are a variety of. In fact, I posted a bunch of stuff, and I'll move it into our channel on Slack, so you know how to like formulate the time and the date to get it in there, and then how to display it when you want to grab it and output it. Right, these classes and methods will do everything for you. In fact, you might just want to have one field, a date time, because it'll give you the date and the time, and you can pull out either piece instead of having to have two fields.
Yeah.
Okay, but it bothers me that I'm still finding these missing files, empty files. Things that should have been auto-generated and hooked up. And I don't know how much of this problem is due to that or is due to, something else. But I did really go through it pretty thoroughly.
Okay.
Now, let's see. Let's see, where's this? Now, as far as setting up the project, you should auto-generate everything, like bring up, auto-generate the new, well, you should, I imagine you auto-generated a new project to begin with, right? Yeah, okay. And then
what do you mean auto-generate a new project?
Well, you do like, what is it? Rails create project name -t. Did you do that?
After, um, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, Chris. When we started the project, did we do the Rails generate new project?
A Rails create. That's a create, I believe.
C9? So we just selected the new Rails project from C9, and we set up the workspace.
Okay, so you collected what?
So we did Rails project. We chose Rails project when you set up the workspace on C9.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And then how did you generate your project? On the command line.
How do we generate the project? On the command line?
No, I don't know that we actually did. I was looking from pre-generating when we select a Rails project from all the dummy files and everything were there. As far as I know, we never actually did like a Rails in it or anything like that.
So I don't think we generated through the command line.
Really? Because that's one of the things that we talked about early on, and in the and in the book and the lectures, that when you get the C9, pick the blank and then set it up with the custom information that was given.
So you're talking about all those directories.
Well, yeah, because the way that we instructed everyone to do it, it would create certain directories, it wouldn't create others, and it would pre-populate some others. Also, there was the set of generators you had to run for your test setup, and from looking at your project, it doesn't look like that was done, and a number of things that should have been in your gem file weren't there.
Okay.
Which kind of concerns me.
Can you tell us what we have to do? What we have to generate before we start writing code?
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. I mean, I actually did this once before. I just regenerated everything, and it didn't take long because, of course, it's just copy and paste your actual code. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Where do I have this? So you're going to say Rails new, and then I don't know. Do you want to do this? Why don't you somebody open up a C9 blank project?
Blank project?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
We'll see how we do. Let me get my book here. By the way, the other thing, because I actually did discuss this with Sam, the other thing that we kind of were concerned about is that you're making your first feature the search feature. And I mean, as you could probably see from our, looking at how the routes have to be set up and things like that, it's not an easy feature. It's actually a pretty difficult feature. And we were kind of surprised why you didn't just stick to something that would cause you to generate the CRUD function, the CRUD methods. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those are easy. Yeah. Those are really easy, and then you've got a nice foundation for everything else. But doing it with search first, wow! I mean, that's pretty hard.
Okay.
So we were surprised. He was saying that he never has anyone start with anything other than a CRUD feature. And
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever, before this year, I don't remember people trying to start without doing one of the CRUD features, you know? I mean, you could start
Mhm.
with a feature that the homepage displays rides, right?
Mhm.
And that would knock off your index page. And then you could also have kind of a feature that's related, which would
Mhm.
be that your project creates rides, and you would
Okay.
actually knock off 2 features and several CRUD functions just doing that.
Okay.
Uh, so I don't know. That would be my advice, because I think you could
Yeah.
probably knock off those, like, you know, give yourself a half hour and you'd have them knocked off.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so but here we. Okay. I'm looking in the wrong place for this. Yeah, I have a set of instructions. So
Wait, so before we
SAS,
start,
yeah.
I have to create a new workspace on C9.
That, I tell you, that's no. Actually, you don't have to create a new work. Well, I don't know, because is your whole workspace set up that way? Is that this? Is that what's going on? Your whole workspace is set up as the automatic one?
Um.
If that's the case, you might want to set up a new workspace. But otherwise,
So
I just create a new folder generally. But that's not how I set up my.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how I set up. I create another workspace for every homework or project.
Oh, really? Yeah, you don't need
Yeah.
to do that. But for this, you
Okay.
might want to. You know, for
Okay.
this.
All right. So I choose the Rails template.
Okay, let me see. It says, oh God, let me check this, because they, Armando just put up a new set of stuff. Here for how to do that. Let me see. Using Cloud9. Okay. Uh, so create a new workspace, and then use the following options. It's a hosted workspace. Make it public, because private's going to mean it's
Mhm.
hard to, work with you.
Yeah.
And select blank workspace. Do not select Rails or Ruby on Rails tutorial or anything like that. Then
Oh, really?
click create. Yeah,
How
yeah,
would I? Oh, okay, blank,
yeah, yeah. There is
blank
it.
template.
Sometimes it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Um, and then you can issue this curl command.
Inside the workspace, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
open up a terminal,
Yeah. Hold on.
and then this will set up things the way you need it.
Okay.
All right. And then issue this command. Do you see it? I can make it bigger
Just
if you want.
give me 1 second. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now that's probably going to take a few minutes. Now the
Oh,
next thing is use the same image for all the assignments. And their advice is don't create a new workspace per assignment.
okay.
All right, because then everything is consistent throughout all your projects, and hopefully you don't run into any problems. Yeah. You know, I'm wondering, there's a lot of this stuff that gets said in class and gets, that you have to read for assignments, but would you agree that it would probably be good to have an area where all this stuff is collected? Because my feeling is that the first time we go over this stuff, it goes over most people's heads, or they don't pay attention.
Oh, what do you mean collect?
Well, I'm just like, okay, so you have to go here to see how to set up your Cloud9. If you
Uh-huh.
want to set up a new project, there's an appendix in the book. And then there's additional testing things that get included later on in the course of in the course of the class
Yeah.
that you find out about as you start doing the testing homeworks, all right?
Mhm.
And I'm thinking that part of the problem I'm seeing is that people aren't following instructions, but probably because we need a place that as you learn one set of instructions, then we just add to them. Does that make sense? I mean, I could put something on Blackboard
Add to
that
the actual project?
no, I'm saying we got a set of instructions at the beginning to follow, right? And
Uh-huh.
a lot of people didn't follow them. And
Right.
partly probably because either people weren't paying attention or, it sort of, it goes by you because you're not in the trenches yet, right?
Uh-huh.
And then
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
and then we get more and more instructions piled on as time goes on. It just seems to me that maybe we need to have some kind of little repository for this stuff so people realize all the basic stuff and the new things that we have to do every time we set up a project.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to try to collect that because
I think that's a good idea.
yeah. So how's your workspace looking?
So I ran the curl command,
Mm-hmm.
and it's looking good. I mean, it doesn't look any different to me.
Okay. And then
Oh, it could not resolve a host.
you had the host as blank, right? Oh, I can't see your.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see.
Oh, all right.
Oh yeah, you don't have. No one's sharing their screen.
Yeah, I'll share my
Yeah. Okay.
screen.
All right.
You see it?
Hold on. I got to switch over. All right. Could not resolve host.
C9 setup info.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't have that happen.
Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot something.
Oh, okay.
It has to be C9 setup dot spoke dot info.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty important part of it. Mm-hmm.
There you go. So what is this doing again?
Okay, so it's setting up like all the installation of Rails, Ruby, all the other things you need, and your basic gem files, as well as populating, auto-generating some of the files, some of the content of the files in your workspace.
So how is this?
For instance, when I was looking at your program and I tested things like rb.env, now that's supposed to get set up by installing your testing stuff, right? And basically
Mhm.
the file was blank. All right. So,
Okay.
if I'm looking through your project, I'm seeing this file, that file, the other file, and it's got blank contents or missing contents, then that says to me it's not set up with perhaps everything you need.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Wait, so
you got it now?
yeah, I think I got it. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's still installing. So how is this different from just choosing the template when you set up the workspace?
Well, because their template is going to use things that in some respects aren't compatible with the versions that we're using.
Okay.
And this makes sure that, from the start we have a reasonable set of things. We may still have to upgrade or install some things if it indicates it, but at least we're starting with a base that's stable and that has kind of all uh, the helper things that come with this image installed.
Okay. So choosing a template would just generate,
It generates the Cloud9 default, not ours.
or not our default.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And theirs may be set up to use an entirely different set of testing strategies, etc.
Yeah. It's taking a while.
Yeah, they said it might take about 5 minutes, but of course the other end of that is that if it's taking a while, it's probably working.
So you're saying that every assignment that we've had so far should have been set up this way?
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean, you may or may not run into problems depending on how many of the tools you're using. Here, we're having to use Cucumber and RSpec and things like Launchy and the database cleaner and all this other stuff. And I found as I was going through your stuff that I was running into one hurdle after another and having to install things, having to upgrade things. It took hours.
Okay. Professor?
Yeah.
Do we have another test coming up, or
No, just the final.
just the final?
Yeah.
And the final would be after Thanksgiving? Yeah, during finals week?
Yeah. Do you remember when I talked about the final?
Yeah, I remember.
And what is the final like?
It's going to be the same format as the midterm?
Eh. I guess you don't remember me talking about the final.
Well, I have a lot going on, so I
Yeah,
can't remember everything.
Well, we all do.
Yeah.
We all do. It's just so hard to keep track of things, Everyone is so busy and everything moves too fast.
Yeah.
So, I hear you. But the final's collaborative.
Collaborative.
It's an agile collaborative exam. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically I issue a set of questions a couple weeks before the final, and they're presented on Pivotal Tracker, and people claim the questions that they want. Everyone has to claim 2. And
Everyone or every group?
every person has to claim 2
Okay.
questions. 2 questions. And then you are given about a week to thoroughly answer it. And then your team reviews it with you. You review your team's work, and they review your work. And with the idea that you're going to try to improve everyone's answers and make them as complete and concise and yada yada as possible. And then the only thing we do during the final is we meet together, and a different team is assigned to review your answers, and you answer a different team's answers. And then based on your reviews, you can gain points, lose points, whatever. And then your final grade is based on the quality of your answers. And that's like half of it. And then the other half of it is the average of the whole class's results. So it's a completely collaborative team effort.
What will be the questions? Like,
Well, that's the kind of thing you'll get eventually. But I might ask you. It's probably not going to be like technical things, because the technical stuff, I don't see any point in like being able to answer a technical question on a test about Cucumber or RSpec or something, because it's something you have to do.
Yeah.
Right. That's what the assignments are for. That's what the project is for. And I'm definitely. Whoa. There's an echo. I'm definitely going to ask questions about our process model and explaining it, and maybe even why we do certain things and why this is important. And we'll probably have questions about software engineering history and things like that.
Okay.
But
All right.
you know, whatever you do though, and this is rule number 1, you have to cite references for anything that is not your own words.
Okay.
And those references damn well better not be Wikipedia.
All right. So
Okay.
setting up is done. The curl command.
Setting up. Okay, fantastic. All right, so you're going to create, well, actually, you can do this right here. So first of all, do a Rails about. Let's just see what you got.
Yep.
What?
Rails about.
Yeah, usage Rails. Well, that's interesting. Rails-V. Yeah, okay. I don't know why Rails about didn't work. Maybe it's got to be a dash.
I think you have to have an option after about. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
It's like Rails about dash something.
Yeah, I didn't use one, but no, whatever. I'm not worried about it. I just thought I could get more info all at once. Okay, so you're going to do Rails new rideshare, and then space -T.
Like that.
Capital T. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it.
Is this done or?
Well, it's gonna it's
Okay.
gonna. Okay, now it's done. All right, good. And then you're gonna CD into your new app directory.
Okay.
And let's see. Now you're going to run bundle install without production. Yeah.
What is without production do again?
Okay, if you just run it without that, then it's going to try to install all the gems for production, like Postgres, for instance, which is a really awful install. And you're not going to be using that locally. You're using SQLite locally, and you don't need all that production stuff because you're going to push to Heroku eventually and let them deal with it. So why should you deal with it, right? It'll just make things more complicated. Now, I always use it just to emphasize the fact that that's important if you want to have less trouble. But the truth of the matter is, as long as you do it once, Rails actually remembers your setting, and then any other time you do bundle install, it'll remember that you're not even bothering with production.
Okay.
Now that doesn't mean that you can't have some production things in your gem file, because like when you push to Heroku, you always have to make sure that there's a group production and that Postgres is in it. But you know, it's not going to worry about that now. It'll just worry about that when you push to Heroku. All right, so they say go ahead and run it quick just to make sure everything's set up right. I guess, you know, if you want to do that, Rails server -P, $port, -B, $IP, and then at least it'll be in there so you can just do tab completion or up completion, I guess.
Rails server -B port
-P, $port, yeah, -B, capital IP. Yeah, sorry about forgetting the capitals. Now, do you want to worry about setting up your Git now, or do you just want to go on and you guys could do that yourselves later? Okay, good, it's working. Yeah, because like really what you should do is now connect your app to GitHub, to Code Climate, to Travis, to Heroku, all those things. But I don't think you want to spend time with me doing that now.
Okay.
Okay. So just remember, after we're done today, go ahead and set up Git, connect your app to GitHub and all that. This stuff is all in A9 in the book, Appendix 9.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you
And
can do that. Now,
for setting up, this is it?
no, now we want to set up our testing environment. And the thing is, in the book, it tells you a number of things to do, but not everything is there. So that's of concern. So let's look at your gem file first.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Yeah, it's no problem. Because it's really important that you get this right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's controller. Okay.
All right. Here's the gem file.
Okay. Let's, can you maybe like bring it down so I can see the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'm using a slightly different version of Rails. I bet they must have changed that curl file or that curl script because I'm only on 4.2.6, but that's fine. You know, as far as I know, they maintain it on a regular basis. So you've got Rails accounted for, right? I mean, let's start at the top. Just make sure that these are there. You've got Gem Rails, you've got SQLite 3, SAS Rails, yep, Uglifier, Coffee Rails. Okay, good. And if you start using JavaScript, there's some other stuff, but we don't have to worry about that right now. And then there's you've got Haml, Gem Haml.
I don't
Where's
think so.
Gem Haml? Yeah,
We don't
get
have
that
it.
in there.
Where?
Just right at the top after. Is there JBuilder, SDoc? Wow, that's like the only one missing there. Okay, just new line gem quote Haml. No, I was saying not there. You see where it says gem SDoc group doc? It's in red. It's the first
yeah.
red. There, yeah, new line, gem Haml. Okay, HAML, and then you've got group development, test. You've got to have BIBOG, yep, and now group test. This is where you need just now make a new group called test. Just test alone. Group : test do, and then put your end in right away. And then wow, it's weird that it's got another development down here. No production. Okay, test. So now put in gem RSpec core in quotes, comma, and put in quotes, okay, and now space afterwards, comma, or I'm sorry, I'm not, yeah, I'm saying it the wrong way. Quote, comma, space, yeah. And then in quotes put 3.4.4. All right, yeah. Then next line, gem RSpec Rails in quotes, comma, kind of this whole setup, and then quote tilde greater than, quote tilde greater than 3.4.2.
Like that?
Yeah, and then
Are you seeing my screen?
yes, I'm looking at it
Okay.
as you're doing it. I'm looking at it.
All right.
So the next one will be gem in quotes guard dash RSpec. Guard dash RSpec. Yeah. Well, you got a spelling error. Spec. RSpec. Yeah, you just flip the letters. God, I do that all the time. All right, the next one is gem simple cov. Simple, just yes, simple cov, and then comma, colon requires. Yeah, you've got it. Then comma, colon requires or require. I'm sorry, require. And then the rocket false.
Rocket balls.
Rocket false. Yeah. And then next one is gem cucumber rails. Cucumber dash rails dash training wheels. Dash rails dash training wheels. Yeah. And then oh, actually, I did miss one. Go, yeah, make a new line right above that, just so it's nice and neat. Okay, gem cucumber rails. Yeah, you were right the first time. Oh, it's cucumber, BER. Yeah, there you go. Cucumber rails, comma. Require rocket false, just like above. And then gem database cleaner. Database cleaner. And that's required by Cucumber, and it wasn't in yours. Okay, next line. Gem. Auto test dash rails. Okay, and then next, gem capybara. And then last, gem launchy. Okay, now at the bottom, make a group production, because this at least I want you to have. Group colon production, you're not going to use it now. Space do, and then it should be gem in quotes Postgres, Postgres. Yep, that's it. All right, now save that and do another bundle install. There's some other stuff you could put in there, but you know, you can check on Appendix 9. It also has, you know, Factory Girl if you want to end up using that. It also has metric foo if you want to collect code metrics, but it's not required just right now. And then if you want to use, you have an error. Okay, where's the error?
Database
cleaner. Not find gem database cleaner. Database. Oh, underscore cleaner. Underscore cleaner. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. I sorry I didn't see that. I'm not being a very good navigator. Yeah, it's funny. Some of these are dashes and some of them are like that one's an underscore. Most of them are dashes. Yeah. I would have typed the same thing.
Okay.
All right. And then don't forget, you know, when before you do anything else later, to take care of the Git stuff and all that. Okay, so now you're going to generate stuff for testing, and you've got to run Rails generate rspec colon install colon. Yeah, there's no space there. It's like a DB migrate or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Enter. Right, Rails generate Cucumber install. All right, Rails generate Cucumber Rails training wheels install, and this time it's all with underscores. Yeah, Cucumber Rails, yeah. Training wheels colon install. Yep. Now, if you're going to use JavaScript later, there's another line, but I don't think you're using it now, so we can just go on to
but when we
bundle.
start using it later, we can add that then, right?
Yeah, you can add it at that time. You'll be adding things to your gem file, and you'll be generating, doing a test generation thing also. But you don't need to do it now. But the thing you do want to do is a bundle exec. I can't see it.
Exact.
Yeah, bundle exec guard. No, exec, EXEC.
Oh, yeah, CC.
Yeah, bundle exec guard init.
Like that?
No, next word. I'm sorry. Guard space init RSpec. All right, now there's also some stuff if you're gonna, when you use simple cov that you have to do, but you don't have to do that right now either. You don't have to do the factory girl stuff right now. And let's see. I think there's a couple of other things you might have to do, but I'm gonna have to take a quick look at the instructions for the acceptance test homework. Because I thought I found a couple of things that weren't mentioned in the original setup. And I found out the hard way that if you don't have them, it can be a pain. So let's see.
Yeah, you don't have to have this, right? You can do it right. I'll just watch it.
Generate cucumber. Did you do a generate cucumber install capybara?
No.
Yeah, that's the one.
Rails generate.
Rails generate cucumber install capybara. Yeah, that's kind of a really important one. And we did a Rails generate RSpec install, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, just want to be sure.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss anything. Okay, so you should be nicely set up now. Okay. And now there's some other things we can generate that we should do as well. I'm trying to think which would be better to do first. I think probably set up your database and your model first. Right. So here you can do, I believe it's a rake. Let's see, rake generate. Oh, come on, where's my note? I hate when I do this.
Hey, what is rake again?
Okay, let me just make sure that I've got this right.
Okay.
Where did I put it? I was feverishly writing notes for you all over the place, and of course the only problem is where the freak did I put them? Sorry. Let's see. Okay.
What?
So, well, actually, I know where I can find the original one here. So, yeah. Okay. Yep. And then, okay. Almost there. Okay, well, actually, they start out with modifying the route, so let's do that.
Sure.
Okay, and I have the routes here that I tested that work. So I'll oh God, let me bring this over. Yeah, can you see my routes? I'll make it bigger.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so route to rides index, and then you'll have your resources rides due, and make sure you do that.
I need to see it.
Sorry?
Nothing. Okay, so you want me to write root rise index?
Root. Yeah. So rides hash index. And then this one, resources rides do. So resources rides is what generates, virtually everything. You just have that one extra one that you have to worry about.
So does on collection?
Yeah, on collection is what tells Rails
If we're not
that
getting
this
a,
should not,
yeah.
that you're not going to get an index on this. You're going to be searching on a collection, perhaps,
Okay.
of rides. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
Can I move this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then the next thing. Okay. Good. Yeah. They look good. All right. And you see here that anywhere you have to define a link or a path or whatever, you can just use this prefix area _path.
Yeah,
and
I know
it's
that.
the same thing. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Now the next thing would be Rails generate. I started to say rake. I don't know what I was thinking. Rails generate model, and this I think might be a bit new, but it's really nice.
Okay.
So issue Rails generate model,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see. You're going to give it the name ride.
Like that?
Boy, I can't remember if it's capital or not. We can try it and see if it ends up right. We can always destroy it if. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me look at an example or two.
Sure.
It'll only take me a second. Better to do that than waste time on this. Let's see. Let's generate model. It's one of those things you do once or twice in a project, and then
Mm-hmm. Never do it again.
Yeah, it's lowercase. It's lowercase. Yeah.
Okay.
So Rails generate model, lowercase RIDE, and now you're going to list all of your attributes, colon, and their type.
Okay. So
no, not a colon. Just what is it? Depart. Not even quotes. Yeah. What is it? Departure location.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Colon. Yeah, and that's a string.
Mm-hmm.
And then space, destination location.
That's a string.
And colon, that's a string. Now, I want to ask you, do you really want to mess with two separate attributes for date and time? I mean, you can store it as one thing and then pull it out as necessary.
Or if you can.
Sorry? Like, for instance, when you have people enter the information to put into a form, you can take the information and convert it to a date time.
Okay, so Chris has something to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I think the idea was that we wanted to have people be able to select like a range of times,
Uh-huh.
or even a
Oh,
range of
okay.
days.
Oh,
Simply,
okay. So given the way that you're using it, it might make more sense to have separate dates and times. Yeah, that's that's a good reason. Do it
right.
that way. Do it that way.
Unless you can do ranges with date time.
Yeah, I'm not really aware of that being a possibility, so I would stick to that. But they can't be strings.
Right.
Date
Isn't
date has to be a date, and time has to be a time. No, the only
right.
reason I say that is because on your form you were treating them
String.
as strings. Uh,
Well,
I-
that's true.
like which they have to be for the user to insert, but
Uh-huh.
then you have to treat them like in your
Let's take.
controller. You have to treat them as dates and times. So that
Okay.
wasn't happening.
They were dates and times in the schema.
They were what?
In the schema, they were saved as a date and time.
Oh yeah, yeah. In the database, they were stored correctly. That's not a problem.
Okay.
It's just that when you had the search form and you took it in as strings, which is okay, um, that then in your model or your controller, you were looking for them as if they were strings.
Okay.
Like you weren't trying to do any kind of conversion. And I'm wondering if there's something that you can do to set up your form so that like there's a helper where they can pick a date or a time and then it automatically converts into the right type. I'm pretty sure
Well,
there is. So you
we,
might not even want to do it as a string,
well,
although you could start with that, just to have something.
Okay.
yeah, we were looking at some of the jQuery widgets.
I couldn't hear that.
Oh, what? We were looking at some of the jQuery widgets that have like date and time pickers.
I see. I see. So that's the what JavaScript?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Fantastic. So string date, string time, or no, I mean then date, and let's see,
Time.
and yeah, and then time, I guess, if
Like that.
that's the way you want to call it. Yeah, and now press enter.
So these date and time types are already built in, right?
Yeah, they're already, in fact, the types that you can use are integer, primary key, decimal, float, Boolean, binary, string, text, date, time, and time stamp.
Okay.
Now, the thing that I don't see here is foreign key, and that concerns me. But, it wouldn't be an issue at this point. Um, it seems very odd. All right, so now it's generated a migration for you, and it's created your ride model. So go ahead and open those files.
Which file?
Go into the app directory first,
Uh-huh.
the app directory, and go to model. Go,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm already.
you're there, right? Okay. Oh, okay. No, click on it. Look at it. You're gonna put some stuff in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are. Okay, so you're going to copy your all counties
Uh-huh.
method in there, all right? And then you should also look at the schema, the database schema.
Mm, we don't have a schema yet.
Oh, yeah, we have a migration but no schema. Yeah, because of course we have to do a rake db migrate. And yeah, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
No, I just forgot that would be next.
Yeah. I have it. Yeah. All counties.
Yeah, okay, you got that. Pop it in, save it.
Uh-huh.
All right, and do your what you could do first, which I always do, rake db migrate status. No, colon status. It's all one thing. It's like rake db test prepare kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, so enter it. And now do a rake db migrate. Okay, and look, it created the table for you.
Yeah, see it.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
So
It
your
is.
model's created, your schema is created, your data is migrated, and let's see. Then the next thing would be to generate your controller,
Uh-huh.
and you can do a Rails generate controller as well.
That
Okay, and so the name of the controller will be rides. And then you're going to want to put after it, what are the methods you're going to want to populate?
um
So, like index and
okay.
what have you.
Index
Yeah.
create
Create, yeah, new, create, put all of them there.
read.
No, you don't need a read. You need index, new, create,
Uh-huh.
edit, update. Is it delete or destroy?
Destroy.
Okay, destroy. And what's the name of your search one? Search results.
Search results.
I'm thinking you might as well. Is that really a good name for it?
Oh yeah, I was thinking that too.
'Cause I don't know. I'm not crazy about the name.
Search maybe.
Yeah, because the controller is actually doing the searching, and the view is going to display it. And I think search is a more common name for that type of method.
So in routes we have to change search results to search,
Yeah,
right?
that'll be fine. We'll do that. It won't be a problem.
Like that.
Rails generate controller, rides index new, create, edit, update, destroy, and search.
In search.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, damn. Hold on just 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm not missing a curly braces or colon or some other thing. I might be.
Sure.
Nope, nope, just has, oh, show is the other one. Yeah, I knew I was forgetting something. So generate, yeah. Let's generate.
Wait, so for show,
Yeah,
we can use show to just show one
ride.
ride.
The details about one ride.
Okay.
Okay, rides index. New. Yeah, that should do it. Although I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't have like colon index, colon new, but I don't know. I'm seeing all kinds of documentation listing it just that way. So if it doesn't like it, it'll tell us.
All right. So run it.
Yeah, go ahead and run it. We'll see how we do.
There we go.
Whoa, nice. And it looks like it created the views as well. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, real nice.
And do you see the get in the routes.rb?
Okay.
This was just created. These
Oh,
lines?
oh, how interesting. So what, did it overwrite the one we had?
No, it didn't. It just edited.
Oh, okay, okay. Root, index. Oh, it doesn't need all those. You
Yeah.
already,
So
yeah. You get rid of those. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. You already have a set of RESTful roots. Yeah, sorry, I didn't understand what I was looking at.
okay.
Then I don't know. Somehow the page moved, and I saw. Oh, that's part of that file. Shouldn't be.
Oh, these are all ERB files. They're not HAML. The views.
Oh, geez. Um. Well, you know what? I would just rename them. I think
Okay.
see if you rename them, if it will do the right thing. I don't know if it will, but
What do you mean?
okay, now look at it. Get rid of that.
Get rid of everything.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Isn't there a way of doing? There's an automatic way of doing it, and I guess I'm not remembering it. Probably I have to give an option that it's HAML, not ERB. So yeah, unfortunately, you're gonna have to change all those to HAML, not ERB. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Well, I think I might have saved you a little work, but it would have been better to.
Yeah. I mean, you already saved plenty of work.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So what would be next?
Let's see. Well, you'll want to go into those HAML files and put like the proper header or whatever on them. Yeah, I really feel bad about this, but of course, you already have them. You can kind of just swap them out.
What do you mean? Oh yeah.
You swap out the ones you already have in your other project.
Okay. Yeah, it's done.
All right, fantastic. Okay. So let's look at the routes one more time just to do a sanity check. I can only see the part that's, silly. Yeah, okay. So route, rights index, resource routes to, okay, good, collection. All right, looks good. And you put your code from the ride in there, right? And let's see what else. The controller, open up the controller and let's start slapping some code in that. Actually, index, you could put ride all, right?
Right all?
Yeah.
Oh, the this one?
No, I'm saying in your controller. In your controller, what do you want? You want ride all, right?
What do you mean right all?
No. Capital RIDE. Capital RIDE dot ALL. ALL. Actually, yeah. Now, if you want a handle to it, you probably have to say something like rides is assigned the value, at rides. Yeah, you don't want all New York counties. You want at ride. Yeah, you just want at rides is assigned the value of, you just all. So when rides are created, they're going to be collected, and then you can display them on your index page. Your index page is going to look, like your movie's index page, right? We might actually
not really.
No.
No.
Well, I mean, it's going to have the different fields and display them. I mean, it's going to look different. I'm not talking about the format. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the content. Won't the content be similar?
No, we won't be showing all the rides on the index page. You're
Oh,
gonna have to
really?
search it. You're gonna have to search it.
Oh, well, that's kind of interesting. Okay. All right. So yeah, then you don't need a handle to that.
Mm-hmm.
It might be it might be handy for testing to have right all in there because you can then just do a debug statement and see.
Can I run this to see how it looks right now?
Well, right now I don't think it's going to look like anything, but yeah, just you can do
Well,
that.
we have the index.html.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So that's got to show you something, right?
Something. Yeah. Something.
Getting an error.
And what's the error?
Uninitialized constant. Oh, I've seen this before. I've seen this before.
Yeah. Now the question is, where is it getting that? Because you're not doing anything with the application controller, or you shouldn't be.
No.
No. Oh, do you see all the stuff that's in here now that wasn't before?
Where?
Or that EMV that you just
Yeah.
looked at.
Required
So
cucumber rails?
yeah, and look down. No, but go further down. Yeah, see, you put the database cleaner in. That cleans up your database between runs, and it puts some stuff in for JavaScript as well. All right. So what's this?
Uninitialized constant?
Yeah, boy, I have heard that too. God damn. Why can't I
Well,
remember what it is?
I fixed it last time
Yeah?
by putting in this line in the
By putting in
environment.rb.
what line?
Required cucumber rails.
Oh, but wasn't that there already?
Well, in this project it was, but last time
Okay.
it wasn't.
Yeah, well, it's in there now, though.
Yeah.
So uninitialized constant application controller.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I know that's a common error.
Huh?
Yeah.
Holy shit. My ears.
I don't know what's happening.
There's a flying saucer outside my door. Okay. Initialize constant. Confirmations. You have an application controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's there, and it should be in the right place because everything inherits from that. Yeah, there it is. Application controller RB. There's got to be something else causing that.
Shouldn't there be base here? Like that?
I'm sorry?
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Application controller. This is crazy. Are you guys searching on that?
Yeah, I'm searching on that right now.
Okay. Yeah, and then whoa. Did you look at that comment? I didn't. I was trying to read the bottom of it because it says it is there.
Where?
See, the file was included. No, because it is there. So it's got to be something else. Yeah, this is odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we copying the exact error?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty odd. I mean, I tried this setup myself and I had no problem.
so you said there shouldn't be base here?
I'm sorry?
Not here?
Colon base, maybe? Yeah, let me look at mine.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, actually.
I don't think so.
Well, let me check my,
Yeah.
okay, because I have
Yeah.
mine. Let me just see here.
It's in the application controller, but not Rise controller. I don't think so.
Oh,
Mhm.
let's see. Could it have put it in the wrong place? That's pretty bizarre. So controllers, and then we have application controller and rides controller in the same directory.
Uh-huh.
And come on, where did I put it? Why can't I see it? Oh, here it is. Base. Colon base.
Really?
Yeah, that's really bizarre. Yeah. We need to make a note of that because that actually sounds like a Rails bug. I've
No,
never
I'm
seen
still
that
getting the
happen
same error.
before. Are you? And you saved it.
Uh-huh.
All
Still getting it.
right. Okay, I'm gonna do a search. We should do a search on the error. Action controller base versus action control. Okay, wait a minute. Application control. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So that was I'm looking at the application controller itself. What about rides controller? Rides controller just has application controller, not application controller base. So are we working on the right file? I was looking at one thing. I'm thinking maybe you were looking at another. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. And then application controller should have had action controller base.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you had to add that.
No, I didn't have to add that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Then I misunderstood. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, it looks like it's right. Okay, rides controller, RB.
Is it?
Rides controller.
Oh, that's not ours though.
What?
Oh, okay. All right. Can we go to the code? Yeah. Yeah.
Now you did another bundle install before all this, right?
Should I do it?
I would do it, yeah. Application controller. When in doubt.
Still getting the error.
Okay. Can I see the whole, wherever the error is? Like the
Yeah,
whole trace?
there's no trace.
Okay, so this was when you tried to run the, so, okay, warning path is not properly set up. It's not at first place. RVM.
No, you don't need it. Attribute accessor?
I don't know if you need attribute accessor, but I didn't really cheat that. But that's not
sorry?
what.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
What's going on?
Nothing.
The generator, the controller.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Okay.
Can we look at the spec helper?
Where is it?
Spec helper. Look under our spec. Spec helper.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see it?
No, keep on going. Keep on going. Deconfig. Huh, this is spec. Spec config. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on there I'm not seeing, but false config. Looks like the channel's missing. So it didn't complain. This is odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, because it should say what it was trying to load exactly that it couldn't load. And we only have this one error, which is odd because in the other places I see this, it'll say where it failed to load it.
Right.
And like one example is the load spec files. Sometimes if that's screwy. But I don't see anything in ours.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Cucumber Rails. Okay. I mean, some of the other stuff is. Let me see my spec helper.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't have attribute accessor.
No,
No,
you
you shouldn't.
definitely
Otherwise,
don't want it.
Wait, this is one for that.
Yep.
Yeah. So how is this actually? How is this actually?
What is going on here? Crap. All right.
Where's it getting this?
Spec.
Database?
Yeah.
Database.
Hold on.
Okay,
Yeah, we all use one. Where? Where is it?
What are you guys
You can
looking at?
just change the extension to ammo. Doesn't matter.
What about the extension handle?
No, the same thing. When we generated the controller,
Yeah,
we got the ERF files instead of the HAML files.
yeah. The airbase.
Uh-huh. So we got the same thing. Same thing
Oh,
happened
really?
just now.
Huh. So someone's saying that that's a problem?
No, I mean they were just confused about it.
Oh, okay. But you don't think it's related?
No, it's a different problem.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure. I thought you saw something that I didn't.
No. Um.
God, this sucks. Let's see. Um,
Did we do cucumber in it?
yeah. Oh, didn't we?
We didn't do that.
Oh, shit. Yeah, do it
Cucumber
now.
dash in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
wait. That didn't fix it.
No.
Well, if you didn't do a cucumber in it, why?
Well, we did a generate. Let me see. We
Oh,
did,
okay.
I can tell you what we did. We did a Rails generate cucumber install.
Uh-huh.
A Rails generate cucumber install. I didn't see anywhere where it said you would have to do an init after that.
Yeah, then it's probably included in one of those commands. I mean, that's how I fixed it last time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think init does everything. I think it does
Yeah.
some things. I don't think it does everything. But we clearly have something going on here. So we should have the requires in the right places. I'm trying to think of what else we can do. I know we've still got that RSpec file to insert into the Cucumber stuff, but that's got to do with deprecations. That shouldn't affect this. I'm going to take a sanity check here with the. Now, did you guys run into this when you did the Cucumber homework?
No, never.
Okay. I'm trying to remember if that's a possibility. And I don't remember running into it with the other one.
Well, we're getting a different error now.
Oh, what is it? What'd you do?
I don't know.
We just
Well,
changed.
you didn't change anything and you're getting a different error?
Yeah. Sometimes it does that
Yeah,
sometimes.
right. Yeah. Undefined method world for main object. What?
World.
World. Clearing out unresolved specs. Oh, well, you did do that in init. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Do another bundle install. You know.
Okay.
Oh. Uh. do you have a .rspec file like at the like near the bottom with your gem file? Oh, I don't
No,
see a .rspec.
no.
Can you create a .rspec file?
Just .rspec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, where is it? .rspec. Okay.
Okay.
Now, yeah, just like along with the gem file and everything, .rspec, and that's it. That's the name. It's
Uh-huh.
got a weird name. And then bring it up. Open it when you have it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so .rspec. And now we're going to put in a couple of lines, underscore, underscore, COLOR. Yeah, it requires
It's already
typing.
there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said it wasn't there.
Well, it wasn't showing up for some reason.
Oh, how?
But
Oh,
when I
okay.
created the file, it
Yeah,
showed up.
put a -FD too.
After what?
-FD.
Dash FB like that.
Yeah. And save it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it turns out I had that happen to me when I worked on the acceptance testing,
Yeah.
and that's all that I had to do to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of weird, though. This seems like a different reason causing it, and I don't know if I can see that. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
So,
Is it the same error?
no, it's not the same error. It's just, I don't know what
Yeah.
this
Now
error
it's.
is.
Have you copied and pasted it and searched on it?
Yeah,
Is
but
anything coming up?
Not really.
This one's kind of strange. Okay.
Should I restart the workspace?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
It's not going to hurt anything, that's for sure. Um, wasn't any help.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Nothing. My team is talking.
Oh. Okay, I have another suggestion. You've been doing a no that
Yeah, it should be like the text box.
oh, so this guy's saying that he's aware of the error?
Yeah, but hold on.
So what is there a version that we have to use? Boy, this version worked last week.
Yeah. Um. It says cucumber is not loaded.
Really? We installed it and put it in here.
So because cucumber is not loaded, that's why
That
world
doesn't make any
method.
sense.
Not. Should I get rid of
Yeah,
require false here?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the thing is, okay, but the cucumber is in the gem file, right?
Uh huh. You haven't loaded cucumber in gem file.
Um, instead of trying to run the app, you want to try running cucumber and see what happens.
Okay.
I don't think it should affect anything, but I don't think we've done a rake DB test prepare yet. But I mean, you know,
Yeah.
we're not running
Yeah,
the test yet.
I don't think you have to worry about this for now.
Are other things working? It's just not deploying.
Yeah, it's just not the point.
Yeah, well, probably should work on other things then. Okay, 771. I honestly can't find anything that we forgot to do.
Mhm.
What's going on?
Nothing.
I already have the model. I already have the model. I already did it. I guess it's fine.
Should we create a feature file and try to run it?
Yeah, I would. We might get more insight into this. Is there a no? There wouldn't be. Is there a Rails helper somewhere?
I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yep, there it is.
Okay. This is the one that has the Rails environment stuff up at the top. Right. Okay. And then spec helper. Okay. And then don't forget, you need. Did you already do this? In features support, you need. I think it's in there.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
What was the thing? Now I don't see it. Controllers, features. Yeah, rspec.rb. Do you have any under support in your features directory?
What's that?
In your features directory.
Uh-huh.
Okay, support. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to put in that rspec.rb. I think you put it in your other one.
Like that? This one?
No. This is when we were looking at the other version of your project,
Oh, okay.
rspec.rb.
I don't think we had that.
Oh, okay. Well, I know it was missing. I thought you put it in.
Oh,
already.
rspec.rb.
Yeah. Oh,
But
you
there's
just
nothing
didn't
on
fill it in yet.
Yeah, I just didn't fill it in.
Okay, well that has to be filled
In
in
there?
as well.
Should I just create one?
Yeah, you can. rspec.rb, right? And then it will have require
Uh-huh.
space rspec /core, and that's all in quotes. Yeah, and then new line a couple times, and then capital R, capital S spec dot configure space do, and then make a block config, you know, the two pipes to the two upper pipes. No, up next to the do. Yeah, the parameter for the config, yeah, for the block. And then config.mock _ width, and then : rspec lowercase r spec, all lowercase, yeah, r spec. Do, and then another couple of up pipes, C,
See?
yeah, pipe, and then C dot syntax, right, equals, and then in square braces, yeah, colon should, comma, colon expect, right, then end, and then another, right after the end, another line. No, not after the end.
Oh.
Yeah. Config dot expect underscore with. And then we have colon r spec space do. And then C in the pipes. I always forget what to call those things. And then C syntax. Okay, equals, and then in square brackets, colon should, comma, colon
Again?
expect. Yeah. So one is configuring the mock with it, and the other is configuring the expect with it. Do you see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's it. Just save it.
Okay.
If nothing else, that's going to save you some deprecation errors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm still rather flummoxed by this weird error.
I don't think we have to worry about this again.
Yeah.
It's not really working.
It's what?
What's the problem? What's going on?
What exactly are you saying?
Yeah.
You want to work on the controller,
What?
and we can get that.
Let's say it again.
Get that set up. It might be a good idea to work on the controller.
Uh-huh. So,
Actually, let's look at the feature file. Let's look at that first.
which feature file?
Your Cucumber feature file.
Oh,
Yeah, get that from your, yeah, just copy it over. And let's look at it. Yeah. Okay. Destination location, leaving date, leaving time. Redirect. Yeah, why do you say redirect to rides page when destination is search? Because that's not what you're doing.
yeah, I did not like that.
And it's not a redirect, it's a render.
Yeah.
You want to render the search page. Yeah, when you could even just say when rides are searched or something like that.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. Okay, so departure, destination, date, time, and I press search. Yeah, I think I commented out your yes, I did. I commented out the then I fill in date and then I fill in time until we decide, just how we want to handle the date and time.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to have all of that done. That can be an enhancement. So, I just commented out. And I press search. Then I am on the search results page. So now will this be the search page?
Um,
We changed that, didn't we? Okay, get, oh, search, yeah, okay, the search page, yeah, okay. We could call it the search rides page.
Mhm.
And that'll be a little easier to capture, I think.
Yep.
And I should see only the following counties. Now, were you getting like it wasn't going to, and I should see the following? Because I noticed you put, I should only see the following, which
No,
I
it
thought
was
was kind of interesting. Oh, okay, well, whatever.
working properly.
Oh, okay, all right. So I should see the following. And I think like your test here kind of bothered me, because what I would think is if we're searching for a ride, then you would say I should see the following rides, and you would have the data from those rides, and that's what you would be showing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay, I mean, you don't have to do that now, but I just think, like when I looked at your ride step, yeah, let me look at your ride step. Uh,
Oh,
rides step, yeah, ride step. Okay, so, oh, great, and I just closed it out. That was stupid. Hold on just a second, because I made some notes here. All right, so can we go up to the top of that? All right, so the following locations: rides table hashes each do ride, uh, and oh, that looks all commented out.
yeah.
All you need there is ride dot create exclamation point ride. Yeah, that's right. That's what you should have. So you might want to comment out that other stuff. Whoop. Hashes table. Each do ride create ride. Yeah, okay. And don't forget your other end. There's another end. Oh, you've got it at the bottom. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I saw the comments. I didn't realize it. And then, where'd we
Hey,
go?
what happened?
I don't know. Where'd we go?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Keeps happening.
Yeah. Then I should see only the following counties. Yeah. So bring that. Whoops. I just wanted you to bring that up a little higher so I could see the next test.
Yeah.
Then I should see the following counties do. What you really want to have a test for is then I should see the following rides do. Okay, so it should return a set of rides. But again, I wouldn't kind of edit it just now. Notice here at the bottom it says all counties each do. That's kind of asked backwards. What you should be asking is specified rides each do. And then if the county in the ride is there, then all counties each. Yeah. So I mean, this test is very specific to the test that only has one ride. And I'm not sure that that's so realistic. I mean, or I mean, if you have that, you need to have other tests as well. But it would be better to have a test that runs through the collection of rides that the search finds, captures the departure and destination from the rides that it finds, and then compares each of those to all counties instead of checking all counties or the specified counties. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what
So
you're saying.
you kind of need one layer higher that's iterating through the rides, and then passing the destination and departure, or departure and destination for each of those rides to the block here, and that would be specified counties or whatever. Specified counties each do C, and then if all counties include, the specified, you should see it, right? And the thing is, you have here the steps should not see. The problem is you haven't set it up for should not see all the way up at the top. And when this finally was being actually parsed, it complained that you had these positive and negative outcome, but you only set it up for positive up at the top, in its interpretation. So I would have either separate tests or do like have should instead of only should see, should not see, you know what I'm saying, and process
Okay.
both, or just have separate tests,
Well,
Uh,
so I think I should modify the test, the feature file.
yeah, I mean, you're going to need to modify the feature file. You're going to need to modify the test. And at some point, you might want to try this. There's a couple things you can do. In the web steps, the very last of the
Steps.
expressions here, the very last one,
Mm-hmm.
then show me the page. You can add that somewhere. You can add that in your feature file, at least temporarily. I mean, you don't want to have that in a finished one, but um, it will either open it. I was having trouble because when I was doing this with your file, it was telling me that Launchy wasn't set up correctly, and it wasn't in your original. Well, it's a gem that I had you put in this time around.
Yeah.
And Launchy will open the page and render it as, given the data it's got to work with. But it also does this thing, and it'll do this no matter whether or not, no matter how you have it set up. When it says save an open page, it'll go to your temp directory. You want to click on your temp directory real quick. So temp directory, yeah, and I don't see anything there. It'll create a capybara folder, right? And the capybara folder will have, here, I'll show you mine. Okay, so the capybara folder will of looks like, or at least what it can figure out it looks like. So, and I can just go here, I can go, I mean, you can look at the page contents, but you can also just do, where's preview? Preview, okay. So the preview of the page, and you could see that it had the header, it had my instance variable, it has the departure and destination, and it had the data, but it wasn't displaying it. And that I was not able to figure out why. I have several of these, but it's useful to see what it thinks is going on. So I had it do it for the index page and show what it was, what the params were. One. Anyway, you get the idea, right?
Yeah.
So I'll get rid of these. So your
You're gonna get
feature
no
steps.
values if you have that for every XP.
If you put that as one of your feature lines in a certain place that's useful.
Put that line in and try running Cucumber. I'm gonna like that.
Oh, it was generated.
The other thing that's helpful is I have in my I inserted into my ride steps
Mhm.
an it says then in parentheses I debug do and I just put bybug there and then puts here uh, and that's handy because then you can just put end I debug in your feature file and it will immediately when it gets there it'll open up bybug and you can do some debugging right there. This is a trick Sam showed me.
Hmm.
Is anyone sharing their screen? Because I'm just seeing infinity.
I'm sharing my screen.
Are you?
Yeah, but I'm
It,
seeing the infinity too.
oh, you're not seeing
I'm not seeing your screen. Oh, I'm seeing you now.
yeah, hi. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, this is just bizarre. Okay.
So, in terms of setting it up,
Mm-hmm.
that's all we were done with setting up, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're done with setting up. We looked a little bit at the testing stuff, and we can throw in the controller real fast.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you about a question about controller.
Yeah,
When do we need a new controller?
a new one. Okay. You need a separate controller for each resource.
Each resource.
Yeah. So right now your only resource is a ride.
Uh-huh.
Eventually, you're probably going to have uh, maybe
Users?
like a driver or rider or something like that, a user, a member, I don't
Uh-huh.
know, right? But
Yeah.
for right now, we're trying to kind of work out the ride resource and have everything working with that.
Mm-hmm. And for each controller, we need a new model.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the idea is that for each resource, you need a model, a
Uh-huh.
controller, and a set of views for each resource.
Okay. Chris, you want to take over for a second? I have to go to the bathroom. You don't want to take over? I mean, you just have to listen to what she says. I'll be right back. Yep. We're not really doing that right now, though. Turn off your speakers.
Joe. Place the market. The servers are off. Right now? I'll get fries.
Professor,
Yeah,
Chris is gonna take over for a while.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Chris is gonna take over for a while.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep.
Hey Chris, how you doing?
Hey, good. What's going on?
Oh, well, I'm probably in about as good shape as you guys.
Awesome.
I stayed up. I stayed up till all hours Wednesday on this. Thursday, Friday I was up till 2. Last night I was up till 3. Yeah, having
Okay.
all kinds of fun with your project.
Awesome.
And it's just so weird that we seem to just trip over every little thing that you could possibly trip over in Rails. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. I'm sorry?
What? Oh, it's background noise.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something.
No, I'm not enjoying Rails very much so far.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I remember a few summers ago, well, it was quite a few summers ago now, when I was first trying to learn this, and it was pure torture, and I was trying to learn it without anyone, anywhere to interact with.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare. But then after I got a couple of things under my belt, then it just got really easy. But I can't figure out what on earth is going on. Just a couple days ago, I did what we're doing right now. I completely started your project over again and just went through, all the steps, and I wrote them down, and here we go through it a few days later, and we're running into problems. It's amazing. But it does sort of tell you how fast things change.
Right.
And that's the problem with open source. Of course, that's where the jobs are. So,
Well, I mean, someone somewhere has to be able to get it to work. So it's
yeah,
like,
exactly. I mean, the thing about problems in Rails is, the one thing I have found out is, when something happens, there's a scurry of activity for like a day or two, and then it's straightened out. But when people update their gems or add functionality, it shouldn't happen, but it does. So I'm baffled why anything is happening this time. Just baffled.
that's not what I want to hear.
Yeah, well, it's the truth, though.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie to you. Of course, on the other hand, I'm gonna make my my document available, and if you guys upload your project after this, I'll make that available, and send a note to Sam. He gets up 2 o'clock in the well, I don't know when he gets up. He starts working 2 in the morning our time every day.
Okay.
And he's really great. If I say we've got a problem, can't figure it out, he's really great to try to, jump on and figure out what's going on.
Right.
So I just want to try to give him as much documentation and what have you before I send anything out. And then I'll check with him first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And hopefully whatever it is will be resolved by then. Yeah, well, famous last words.
Oh God. This isn't even like the hard part yet.
Well, actually, I mean, if you've never done this before, this is the hard part. And you guys picked such a hard thing to do. I don't think you realized how hard it is to do this.
I guess not, because looking at it doesn't seem like it's overly difficult.
No, it doesn't. But believe me, it is.
Oh.
Right from the form that you have to create, which is a custom form because it's not based directly on the model, and the fact that you've got dates and times that you have to deal with, and you're searching on a collection and expecting to render a collection. So that's not as easy as, say, just searching for one item in a collection.
Right.
Like we did that with the finding the director. We had to just search on one record, or using one record, and find the information, find a collection that way. That's a lot easier than having like multiple data that we're trying to search on, or multiple data that's like not wrapped into a record. Does that make sense? Like when we searched for the when we searched for the director, we started with basically one record, and we pulled out one field, and then we searched. Okay, so this is, we don't know if something's there, and we have to pick out, 2 to 4 fields and search on them.
I mean, the thing is, though, like, in terms of just like doing it, like I get familiar enough with SQL, so I could just write the SQL query.
That's right. Yeah.
That's not a problem. It's
right.
The problem is all the magic that Rails does, and
yeah.
So it's
But
I don't have to know that.
Yeah, the flip side of that is, at first, I think a lot of this looks very negative. But if you were to set up a full-blown site that had all this stuff on it, believe me, you would want to have a framework like Rails backing you, because there's also so much of the security stuff and everything else. And Rails does really do a lot for you.
But I thought that you said that Rails purposely does not do the security part.
Oh, no. It doesn't do authentication.
Okay.
It doesn't have its own built-in authentication, because and I kind of disagree with this. I think they should have had a default authentication, right? But they felt like everyone was going to have their own requirements. I'm just talking about just plain old internet security, not authentication.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I would have loved if they had built-in authentication. That's for sure.
And for something that's supposed to be super easy to use and super easy to pick up and all that, you're right. They probably should have had some kind of, lowest common denominator system built
exactly.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even bad, use it. Yeah, even for like hobby users, but
Yeah.
I'm not DHH, so.
Well, yeah.
Right. So where are we now? Are we in a place where we could start editing the controller?
Okay, what do you mean by where are we now? Because Joe has been kind of talking to you with headphones, and the rest of us have been kind of like working on some of the other stuff for the previous version. With the idea that we're like and the new one.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was hoping I could look at the controller.
Is this? Where'd you go? Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, now I can see the screen. Well,
okay.
I could see the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, it just does that infinity thing every time there's a change.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so if I could look at the controller.
For Rise controller?
Yeah, the Rides controller. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you, can you see my screen?
More or less, yeah.
Oh, just more or less? Really?
Well, I mean, it's just like tiny print and everything. Everything's kind of.
Huh. Okay. Trying to think how I can make this bigger.
Let me try on this. Okay, I full screen the web browser.
Is that any bigger?
No.
No. Okay. No. How about that?
Yeah, that's definitely bigger. Okay.
That's what?
Yeah, that's bigger.
Okay. So here's some stuff I put in your controller for debug. Okay. So I put in this is just so I know I'm in search results. I got there because for a while there, one of the biggest problems was I wasn't getting here, and I had to fix the paths and routes and everything else. So I started getting here, And then I wanted to see what the parameters were, so I put a p params inspect, and they're just exactly what they should be. I stuffed the buy bug in here just in case I wanted to, you know, kind of rummage around and look at something else here, but you don't have to.
Okay.
And then I commented out the date and the time because I think we have to put more thought into that.
Yeah.
So I just have the departure and the destination right now. And then I have the, oh, actually, this is an old, how did I wind up with this? Yeah, this is my older version. Let me get the one that I did for you. Let's see. Yeah, it's there that weren't ideal. Okay, so you know, you can put in or take out any of this stuff, but I just put in a lot of instrumentation so we could see what was going on in the controller and make sure it was generating the right stuff, and it was. I even had it put the values of DEP and DEST because at first I wasn't getting those, but that's because it was going to the wrong page. And then I did just a local results so I could view it to make sure that this was generating what we wanted, and it was beautiful. It was generating exactly what we wanted. And then I did a results inspect. Well, that's so I could see it, see every aspect of it. And then I put an end search results, so I knew that I was past my instrumentation. And like I said, I commented this out for now. And then I have the last line. Now the thing is, this should, when you do a query like this should be a method in your model. It shouldn't be here. I'm not really worried about that right now, but I'm just telling you from a style standpoint, you should have some kind of class method that wraps this. Okay, you pass the stuff to it and it wraps it. That's all.
Okay.
Not a big deal. And I also put in, because they weren't there and I wasn't sure if this was going to affect what was going on, I created a create method and those ride params that whitelisted so that we could do mass assignment, because I was concerned that maybe that might be interfering with some of the stuff. I noticed with a previous homework that when I was testing, certain things were working, but because I didn't have this there, when I did it in real life, it wouldn't really do it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like when you create in Cucumber, you're creating to the test database, and you're doing an end run around the actual, you know, the real database that you use, and the values that get passed around. So you can actually pass a create in Cucumber and do mass assignment and not pass it when you do it live because you don't have the whitelisting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what about
Holy jeez.
yeah. I don't even worry about that.
Is there a very loud bird on your shoulder?
Yeah, that would explain a lot of things, but sadly no.
My ears are going to be broken.
Yeah, I don't even know what's causing that. So I don't know how to fix it.
I tell you, if everyone isn't mic'd up, that's what happens. You get background noise and it echoes, and then it creates feedback.
Okay, yeah, because this is on. There's no mic on this. Just the speaker and everything, because everyone's here sharing the same computer here. So.
Sure. Well, that's why it's doing that.
So, I guess. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Well, the thing is, no, like you started off, and like I don't know exactly where we are.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What are we doing?
Okay, so I was just explaining that in the controller, you have the index all New York counties equals right all New York counties. I put in a little instrumentation just for sanity check, and everything checked out. You can put this sort of thing in or take it out. I don't care, but it might be useful. All right. And this way I knew when I got in, when the controller was hit, that it was hitting the right methods. Because if you recall initially, because your routes were doing really goofy things, it was hitting the wrong methods. It just wasn't going where it was supposed to go.
okay.
And I sort of had evidence of that, but it wasn't clear, so I did this to be sure. And that's how I made sure that it wasn't going, and then when I fixed the routes, it was going where it should go.
Okay.
So I did that here, and I did it for search results. I put in a whole lot of instrumentation in search results because, of course, that's where all the important stuff is happening. The thing that I got up to, is that everything was going to the right methods. I was finally going to the right view, because that was also a problem. And I had all the right information, and for some reason, when I would look at the view in Cucumber, it was telling me it was there, but it wasn't there. And again, I don't know if that's because, well, I was just talking about normally when you create stuff, you're going to be going through your new and create methods.
Yeah.
Right. Your create has to be sure that it invokes these ride params, so that it's whitelisted and you get your mass assignment stuff right.
This coming from where?
This is do you recall that we talked about in this when we hit chapter 4, that there was a security violation or weakness found a couple of years ago with the way that Rails was doing mass assignment of attributes. And so there were a whole series of different things that they tried, and this is the one that settled out as being the way to go. And basically what you're doing is you're whitelisting. You see the permit? You're whitelisting these attributes and saying that they can be mass assigned when either you're creating or you're updating.
Okay.
So when you create or you update, you're always going to want to send, like here's create, you want to send, you want to invoke ride params and have it issue the command. So when you do a new, ride params will take care of whitelisting your attributes and create it, and then you'll get back a ride.
Okay.
I'm thinking I might have a better example up here. But definitely, like, just check and make sure that you've got adequate instrumentation in your controller.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh, that's the new project.
Okay, so Professor?
Yeah.
If I wanted to add another controller, I would just run the same command that I ran earlier.
Yeah, but you know what? I would just check and see if there's something for Haml, so that it generates the Haml views instead of the, yeah, that would be the thing to do. But don't forget, you would first do your model, You want to be sure you've got your schema and your model set up.
Before control.
And yeah, because I mean, what's the controller for? The controller is to control a resource, and no point doing that till you have a resource. Make sense? Yeah.
All right.
Let's just see. Yeah, if you recall, for your homework, yeah, they gave you this, which is the same thing. All right. Although I made mine private, simply because most people feel it's kind of bad form to make this public. So I made it private. But notice that in the update, when you invoke movie update attributes, you have to go through that also, not just the create.
Okay.
So it should be found in create, and it should be found in update. Yeah. So I don't know if you have that stuff or not, but I wanted to look at the if you're okay with the controller, then I want to hit the view. Where is it? Yeah. All right. Okay. Actually, let me see. I think this is.
Professor?
Yeah.
So I have a question about the view.
Yeah.
So you see in that file that you are on right now, do you see :ID rocket registration form?
Yeah. Yeah. I commented that out because I wanted to just debug this and not debug anything else.
So for example, the
Yeah. So
:ID
you're going
rocket
to
search
have
form.
to. Yeah. So you're going to have some other resource, like I don't know if registration is what you want to call it. I mean, wouldn't it be more of like a member, and
User?
that you would, or user or member, and then the member gets registered. You might want to just kind of look at some other examples of that sort of thing.
Okay.
And believe me, the web is full of them, just full of them.
So the :ID rocket search form, what does that do again?
ID rocket search form. Oh, actually, I mean, this is just for like eventually your CSS or something. It's not doing anything right now. You're not using it.
Oh, okay.
You had it in there.
But we
Okay,
are
I
using
didn't
the
change
method.
it. Oh well, this is an ID. Okay, so this is like CSS. You could have a. Oh, wait a minute. ID. Well, yeah, this is one way to set it up. Okay, so you have an ID, and then on your page, if you wanted to configure that an ID called search form a certain way, you know, it would be labeled as such. It would be #. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So it's like
Okay.
CSS.
Yeah. What's important here is that you've got the URL and the method. Now, the URL, it was kind of interesting when I put the path, which is how I usually do this. It was doing an end run around some of your tests, and I don't know why. So I made it explicit and put it in this way: rides and then / search results, which is the URL that's, if you look at rake roots, it's the URL associated with it. And then you had method being post. Now, why did you have post as the method?
That was a mistake.
Oh, okay. But I mean, you understand why it needs to be a get?
Yeah.
Okay, because post
we're
would
not
be.
updating. We're not updating the data.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Okay, I just want to make sure that was clear. And then I commented out part of this because I found sort of contradictory instructions for text field tag,
Okay.
as far as having it associated with a label. and I'm wondering if different versions do it different ways. There's also a label field tag, right? Which is, I think, what most people use. So I just commented out because for some reason I was having some trouble with it. And when I did that, it started working. You know, your mileage may vary. But this is how I got it to pick it up and then port it over to the controller, which it wasn't doing previous to that.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm, again, Rails has so many different ways of doing things. Now here's the search results page, and I put this on top just to see that the stuff was getting here to search results, right? And there's something very bizarre happening with this page, and I have no idea what it is. So you have it set up very similar to the way the movies, you know, page was set up, and you're picking up. Oh, I also changed at results to at rides just because I liked it better, and you know, I started wondering, God, is there some kind of what is it? Something over configuration. What's the word I'm looking for? Convention. Is there some kind of convention over configuration going here, or what? Because it ignores this. It comes this far and it ignores it. I don't know what's going on. So when you render this page, you'll see this header, right? And it'll ignore all this. For what reason, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
right? And then this will be null. And yet we know that this was getting sent to it. So
yeah, we didn't really put much thought into it. We just basically copied it from movies.
Yeah, well, you may not have put much thought into it, but believe me, I have trying to see what's going on. And I mean, I've taken it through the debugger, and I can see at this step, you know, results or rides or whichever one you call it. You know, I changed the name at some point, but whatever you call it, it's being passed, and it's got the proper value and everything. It's perfect. It's there, it's there, it's there. And then as soon as the page is rendered, it's gone. It's like, what is going on? I am a little baffled by this, but again, taking it through a lot of debug already. So this one I'm kind of.
Which view was that?
It's the search page. Well, again, if you change your routes, you're going to change it to search rather than search results. I called it search results, but I don't even like that name. But that's the one bizarre thing had going on there. It was all going where it should have. The correct views were being rendered. The correct controller methods were being called, and then at the very, I mean, I can't help but feel that it's like one of these weird validation or filter things going on, where it just makes sense. Do you remember we talked about that a few weeks ago?
Yeah, like automatically.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't know what else it can, except for some reason it's tossing it out, and it's just not getting to the view. So at this point, I haven't looked at the logs or anything yet. You know, maybe that would show something. But again, I'm definitely going to format some stuff up for.
I think it may be because we didn't set it up properly.
You know, I modified everything, and then it should have been set up. Well, yeah, that's true too. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was still working with a version that was missing things, and yeah. Although,
I mean, like the commands that we ran earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris did most of them, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% clear on what we did.
Yeah.
To set up the project.
Well, I mean, I got to looking at this, and like I said, when I looked in the appendix, which is what I was telling everybody to look at, I realized, oh, you know, there's even stuff missing from here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna really try maybe this week or so. I don't think I have any more time to expend on this today, but
yeah. So
I'm gonna try to get.
So well, go ahead, finish.
No, I was just going to say I want to put something together on Blackboard so that there's
okay.
kind of one procedure that instead of having to go to 20 different places to figure this out.
Okay.
You know, I feel your frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So notice here I call the result rides instead of results, consistent with all the naming. But you know, results you can make it ride. It just made sense to me, so I called it that on my view page also, but it's not showing up.
So you think you could share these files with us?
I'm gonna send you. I'll send you this version. Okay, we've certainly gone over all of it. And again, remember, there's still things that aren't
Fixed.
working and that aren't perfect. And I'll send you the I worked up. Yeah, actually, what happened today is around noon, I started. I was still trying to figure out some stuff, and I thought, well, I'll work up this document so that I can put on it all the different things I did to debug and all the different commands I used, so you'd have that. And one of the things that I had been doing is keeping the shell open, and periodically I was copying and pasting from it, you know, copying images from it and pasting it. But I there were some I just, you know, like I was furiously doing things, and I left some things out and thought, oh, well, I'll just go back to it and get it later. And some of the more important ones, my computer did some goofy thing, and it shut down for some reason. I have no idea, and I lost the entirety of the shell that I've been saving. So I had to kind of recreate some of the tests I did for the document. So I was kind of, I didn't realize it was taking so long. I was kind of super involved with that. And then I realized, I kept on looking at the clock, but there's a glare on my monitor, and I guess I was seeing it as 12 and it was 2. So I'm an idiot. Sorry about that. So I'll send you the document. I'll zip this stuff up. Can you please zip up what you have right now and send it to me?
Right now?
Well, I'm saying the version, you know how we restarted the project? Yeah. Can you send me that version?
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't
Yeah.
I haven't added anything to it.
Nothing?
I haven't really, I mean, I was talking with you, so I.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you populate it and send it to me? Or even just send it to me as is, because I want to figure out what that crazy error is.
Oh, okay. All right, sure.
Right? You know, we don't have to have anything else there.
Yeah, we don't have to.
No.
Okay, so I'll send you the project.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll send you this one.
Okay.
All right. Well, sorry this took so long, guys.
No, it's okay.
And we will figure this out.
Okay. All right, so I'll send you the folder right now.
All right. Okay. As soon as I get off, I'll send you everything.
Okay.
Who should I send it to you?
Just send it to me.
Should I just post it on? No, I don't want to post it on Slack. I'll send it to you, and you can disperse it. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So you guys take care.
All right.
Thanks very much for meeting with me and for trying to address this. And as I said, you know, between all of us, we'll get it worked out.
Okay.
All right. But honestly, you should try to do some simpler features first. You can knock off several almost immediately.
Yeah.
Right. And stick with the CRUD actions.
So for the first 2 features, just stick with the CRUD action.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I sent you the file.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Let me see. Yeah, just gonna check my email, make sure I have it. Nope, that's not it. All right. Oh, here it
You
is.
get it?
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, it's pokey. I saw it come in. Yeah. Well, I guess it doesn't check like every millisecond. All right. So I've got it, and I'll send this stuff out. I'm packing it up now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So see you tomorrow, and thanks a lot.
No, thank you.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure.
All right.
See you then.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.